need for greed or hunger, a brotherhood of men. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. No, I hope someday they will join us, and the world will live as one. In the words of John Lennon, imagine all the people living for today. Well, I ask you this. Imagine all the adults, all the children who would still be with us today had it been for stricter regulations. It makes me dizzy when I turn on the news and watch what seems like the same headline over and over again. More innocent lives ripped out of this world by gunfire, just in a different location every time. Sandy Hook, Pulse, Las Vegas, and most recently Parkland. When will it end? They tell us that thoughts and prayers are being sent out. Well, thoughts and prayers are not enough. I don't know about you, but I am done imagining, and I am ready to make this dream a reality. Ever since I was a kid, I have been fascinated by the American Revolution. The idea of people from different creeds, races, and backgrounds all coming together to fight for one common cause has always sent shivers down my spine. I have always wanted to be a part of something like that, and I am so proud to see the same image from 241 years ago mirrored before me today for this cause, for our cause. That's just a reminder that anything is possible in this country. If our founding fathers were able to bring down and defeat the most mighty empire in the world, then we, a bunch of kids, teenagers, and young adults with no experience, can bring about the change we want to see in gun control laws. Now is not the time to use our indoor voices. Now is the time to do what we are best at doing, what kids are best at doing, making noise. Instead of worrying about the safety within our walls of our schools, we should be worrying about our upcoming tests and quizzes. Instead of jumping into fight or flight zones whenever we see somebody reach for their backpack, we should be preparing to run the mile in our gym classes. As Lin-Manuel Miranda writes in Hamilton, between all this bleeding and fighting, we have been reading and writing. We have been laughing in the face of casualties and sorrow, and I tell you, we need to see past tomorrow. We cannot let this keep going. We have to keep changing and fighting for what we want to see. And as kids, we can do anything if we stick together. Now is the time for us to be heard. Now is the time for us to shine. And now is the time for us to rise up. Down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, that you can't find the fire, but I see it in you, so we gon' work it out and move mountains. Yeah, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up, high like the wave. I'll rise up, in spite of the take. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. All we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other, yeah. We will rise, we will rise, we will rise, yeah, we will rise. And I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, in spite of the age. I will rise 1,000 times again. And everybody sing, and we'll rise up, we'll rise unafraid, we'll rise up, we'll rise like the day, we'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, thank you. And I would now like to introduce our state representative, Ms. Caroline Simmons.
Wow. Good afternoon, everyone. Tough act to follow, Victoria. That was incredible. I am so inspired and awe of the turnout today of activists. Thank you all so much for being here. I want to say a special thank you to Moms Demand Action Stamford, to Super, to the Enough campaign, to the amazing Women on Watch, to Connecticut Against Gun Violence, and to all the teachers, parents, activists, public officials, and students here today. We are here in unison with thousands of marchers across the country because we are fed up and we have had enough with gun violence. We're here not because of politics. We're here because every day in this country, 96 lives are taken by guns. We're here because kids are being killed in our schools, in our movie theaters, in our concert halls, and in our places of worship. This is a public safety crisis and a tragedy of epic proportions for our country. There have been too many innocent lives that have been taken from this earth. From Columbine to Aurora to Tucson to Oak Creek to San Bernardino to Orlando to Las Vegas to Parkland to the horrific shooting of 26 and 7-year-olds and 6 school administrators that took place right here in our state at Sandy Hook. Enough is enough. We must come together to end this tragic violence. We will no longer tolerate inaction. We demand that Congress put our children above politics and pass common sense reforms like universal background checks and a ban on assault weapons. We demand that other state legislatures across the country strengthen background checks, close the gun show loophole, and ban the use of AR-15s. We demand that state legislatures ban bump stocks and ghost guns like Connecticut is working on right now. Let's come together to pass these common sense reforms that 90% of Americans support because we know that stronger gun laws lead to fewer gun deaths. Now, the cynics will say that we are wasting our time and that these measures will never pass, but today I am hopeful. Today we are witnessing a movement that will go down in history. Today is different because of all of you. all of the activists out there today, and in particular the students. Raise your hand if you are a student here today. Let's give them all a round of applause. To all of you students out there, we are so proud of you, and we are in awe of your leadership and bravery in standing up against gun violence. To the hundreds of students at Stamford High, West Hill High, AITE, and schools across the country who led a peaceful walkout last week, to the students who are leading marches like this across the country today, know that your voices are powerful and inspiring. You are part of a continuum of youth activists who have led positive changes throughout our country's history. And as the torch of citizenship is passed to your generation, this is the progress to fight for. This is our fight against injustice and to save lives. Like every battle for progress, it will take courage and persistence, but keep making your voices heard, and soon we will look back on this day as the day when your generation put an end to mass gun violence in our country. Thank you. And now, I would like to introduce State Senator Carlo Leone.
Good job. Good afternoon, everyone. It's really an honor and a pleasure to be here, and kudos to my colleague, State Representative Caroline Simmons, all our other delegation members, but really to everyone here. I think you all deserve a round of applause, so please let's do that, because this is what we're here for. You know, so tragically, so many years ago, it started with Columbine, but then the list just continued to grow. We thought it was an anomaly, but now it's become all too normal. And we thought that our events here at Sandy Hook in Newtown only a few short years ago would have been the turning point to turn back the tide against this useless and senseless acts of violence across the country. That didn't happen, and we in the legislature, we passed meaningful reform, but didn't go as far as we would have liked because there was still opposition. But now we find ourselves today here at a turning point with Florida and all the other ones that have happened since then. And it's because of the young adults, because of the families, it's because of the mothers, it's because of you speaking out that it's making the difference. And I am hopeful that this is the turning point. I am hopeful that this is the day that we can make the change. Listening to the words of our young students, they are our future leaders. But you know what? More importantly, they are our future voters. They are the ones that are going to make the difference for the politicians that refuse to listen. So I would say to you, register to vote. Get those young people out there. Continue to raise up your voices, because it's what we as politicians listen to. You know, we are the United States of America, the USA. We are not the UNRA.
That's right!
Too many times our families are losing loved ones and we think they can recover. There is no recovery from that. There's only adjustments. And what we don't want, what we can't afford, is for that to happen in our community, in your community, and communities more across the country. So as the great Sam Cooke once sang a song so many years ago, a change is going to come, and it's going to come because of you. So don't give up the fight. It's more important to keep this fight going, because we can do it, and we can only do it with your support. Thank you. With that, let me bring up more important than the speaker, one of the students, Geraldine Arubi.
Hello, my name is Geraldine Uribe. I am a junior at AITE, and today we're making history. Yes, you are! Yes! Since the new year of 2018 has started, there have already been 17 school shootings. 17. 9 have happened even after the tragedy at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. It has even happened in our own state of Connecticut at Sandy Hook Elementary School. And these tragedies are the reasons as why to students and the youth of our nation are starting to use our First Amendment right to finally be heard on an issue that needs to change. Common sense gun laws need to happen, Policies and actions need to happen. And if our legislators cannot make these things happen, well, we will make this happen. The people in our world are listening to our voices, but what we want and what we need is not happening. However, because they are underestimating the intelligence of the youth, and I can tell you one thing is going to happen. The children of America are coming together as one and are going to be stronger than our politicians. We will fight for what is right. We will not stand down until the right change happens. If not our generation, then who? Too many excuses have been made and too many lives have been lost for us not to speak up. And when your children act like leaders and your leaders act like children, you know a change is going to happen. I am proud of our generation of youth who are getting involved to make a change. As youth activists, we are marching and speaking as if our lives depended on it, because they do. We will not stop. We will not be silent. We will put an end to this, because violence will not stop unless we take action. We ask our leaders to do the same. We need to protect ourselves and kids, not guns. And because of this, we are demanding Congress to end gun violence. More guns are needed. No, more guns are not needed, sorry. More votes are needed. I cannot be sure of what will happen in the future, but I am sure of one thing. We will fill up the voting polls in 2020. We will vote for the good ones in and the bad ones out. And it will take all of us to vote the bad ones out. As I stand here today with the students from Stamford, Darien, and Norwalk, and students across the nation, we would like you all to know one thing. This is just the beginning. We will only move forward from here. The fight will not end, because innocent lives will never again be lost. Thank you. Now I would like to introduce Catherine Lester.